definitely already getting heated, so hopefully we have a good show for you today. We'll have an anime recommendation followed by an anime question, and please comment down below. Please feel free to ask us any questions that you can think of. Let us know. We want to talk about it. We want to debate you. Think you know more than us? Test your knowledge. We've already had people try and fail with their Naruto knowledge, as we have our resident bullshit anime degree, Klaus Baus. So don't get it twisted with Naruto. We have other panel members that are also fluent in bullshit degrees with other anime, so please come for us. With that being said, first death battle. Naofumi Iwatani from Rising of the Shield Hero versus Sunraku from Shangri-La Frontier.
This is only anime based because I haven't read either of those mangas.
Okay, so my question is, does Sunraku have like how does he fight? I guess.
So Sunraku has skills pretty much akin to like those in an RPG or an MMO. You know, where it's like you have certain skills that do certain abilities. Like I believe he has the latest skill I saw him acquire, which I might be behind because I haven't finished season 2, but was it's like a drill attack where he uses the two knives and it's basically like real fast.
Oh yeah.
And then
so he has his Vorpal Blades, which is what his Vorpal Blades is what Klepto was talking about, but he also has these weapons called Giltabril. And Giltabril is something that was made for him by one of the bunnies from this village that he visits within the anime. And Giltabril can store up energy over time, mana over time, and then release it in one hit. Now, he can only use it in basically once per every so many days because it takes time to recharge.
So that's his ultimate ability, then. Current ultimate ability,
yes,
I guess, would be Giltabril.
His current ultimate ability.
Okay.
But the caveat to it with Giltabril is that when he uses the ultimate ability of those gauntlets, it has concussive damage that strikes him back. So if there isn't somebody to catch him, he's going to die immediately following taking that hit. Like it knocks him basically all the way down.
So there's that. Then he also has like a dash ability. He has just jumping ability, just skills that and like it's like playing a video games that would enhance the player. Those are the type of skills that he has.
Different type of movement abilities as well as different type of attacking abilities, stuff that give him critical hits, things of that nature.
Right.
So pretty much if you was to put it together, the meeting ground for both of these characters would be some type of VR world, because that's the only way Sunraku actually anyway.
Okay, so if we're doing the VR world, we also have to take into Sunraku's ability to he not break the game, but he naturally knows how to maneuver in VR because he's played very glitchy, buggy games and beat them. So he's like a game or like a world with it don't make him win every fight, but a world with like flawless movement, no glitches or bugs. He's doing some stuff you don't see regular players do because he knows how to work the system.
However, you also have on the other hand Naofumi Iwatani, the Shield Hero, possessor of skills such as Shield Prison, Iron Maiden, Rage Shield, his access to the Tortoise Spirit Shield. He has various healing abilities with it. The Soul Snatcher, or the Soul Eater.
I ain't gonna lie. On paper, I feel like because of how the status effects that Naofumi can put out are scary. Very dangerous, very scary. And then looking at how Sunraku, built his character build, there's not a lot of HP, there's not a lot of defense in this build. It's very much a glass cannon, high luck, high critical strike, high mobility, high critical strike type of character. So with, like you said, the shield prison and things like that to like kind of confine or like cut off movement, I feel like it would be a very much so uphill battle for Sunraku, but I don't know, he got that dog in him. Sunraku got that dog in him, bro.
Literally.
For me personally,
real.
For me personally, I think with Sunraku, if he's able to get the drop on Naofumi, not necessarily take Naofumi by surprise, I'm not saying that, but if in a fight where they're fighting one-on-one and they, I'm going to fight you, square up. If he gets the drop on Naofumi before he can do anything to prepare, which I think is extremely likely given the feats of speed that we've seen Sunraku perform, and given if they're in a verse of equal footing, Naofumi doesn't have those same feats. He doesn't have necessarily a physical edge to him. He doesn't have any physical buffs without the power of his shield. And he has to activate those, and that takes time. It's not innately active or passive. Right. Whereas Sunraku has abilities that he has seen that while he does still have to take time to activate them, he's able to just compound the effects back to back to back.
Right.
And to do so at the drop of a hat, as Klepto made mention, because of the fact that he's played such glitchy, buggy games and had to adapt to those games, he's very adaptable in a fight. However, what I will also make mention, while I can't say who the definitive victor would be, what I do feel I can say with certainty is I think that if the fight lasts shorter than 30 minutes, I think Sunraku is the victor. I think if it takes longer than 30 minutes, I think Naofumi is 100% catching a W.
Yeah, because the thing with Naofumi is he's a natural strategist, and his whole team is set up behind his ability to think. And then with his power set, it's always offsetting something else. But that's just because he's training to fight the waves, and he has to be prepared to deal with multiple things at one time. So I can see the argument for him being like this is almost a fight between what happens when an unmovable object meets an unstoppable force. Like, they're two opposing characters in the same sort of degree, but in opposite ways. Like, Naofumi is definitely a character.
Now,
he's a pure damage dealer, speed blitzing monster.
I was about to say speed blitz for sure. I wouldn't even say damage. I don't even consider like Sunraku normal DPS. I consider Sunraku more like an up close sniper. Like he's trying to get specific shots off. He's not trying to like do consistent damage over time. He's like, no, I'm gonna pick my spot and I'm gonna try to hit you and make it hurt.
Yeah, because most of his abilities allow him to crit like.
Yeah. So assassin build would be probably the most accurate if I could, just off the top, assassin or something thief-like. But yeah, he's like an up-close sniper where it's like Tyler said, he's gonna look for an opening and he's gonna try to take that opening and then hit you back to back to back to back to back as many times as he can until you break or Naofumi can answer back.
To me, Sunraku is very reminiscent of Rock Lee when Rock Lee first fought Gaara.
Yeah.
Or I would also make reference to Teshik Khan, the guy who was from the surveillance part of the Hunters organization in solo leveling. He's very reminiscent of that kind of fighter where he's bouncing around a lot, doing a lot of crazy stuff to try and exploit your weakness, whatever. But the difference is Sunraku has it where it counts. I think, like I said, I think that's the way that fight would go. Although I do have an ulterior question outside of a death battle, right? Say somehow their verses crossed where they just happen to link up and was like, oh, I just happened to pop up in here. Like, say Sunraku somehow through VR was just like, oh, who are you? Why do you have a shield? You just put that away. And then you see Naofumi like, I can't drop it. Just comes right back. I don't know what to tell you. And then Sunraku's like, that's really weird, dude. And Naofumi having a conversation with him like, that's really odd coming from the guy with the bird head. Like, just one more person giving Sunraku mess about, his bird head. I think that'd be funny. All right. Second death battle. Now this one I know is gonna be funny. So Prime Toph versus end of series Korra. So Toph in her metal bending prime, Chief Beifong.
Mm-hmm.
End of series Korra. So end of series Korra, bending energy, having the ability to give people their bending back, being in touch with her spiritual side, but not having access to the avatars. And then you have Toph, who's just that chick, like just emanates. Look, I make grown men cry. Do you think we have an opportunity?
I'm leaning towards Korra just because she's the avatar.
I'm taking Toph.
If she was a regular vendor, I could hear an argument for Toph, like just washing her because it's Toph. But she got avatar state, even though there's no other avatars. Like, it's still gonna.
Yeah, because Rava can still wield
absolutely. Absolutely. I think Korra still having that power would definitely still give her an edge. However, and I've said this about Korra's character the entire story, especially when it comes to fight, her mental instability will get in the way every time. Every time.
This is end of series Korra.
End of series Korra, even still in a fight, like, this is
End
going
of
to get
series
her way.
Korra was entering into a lesbianic relationship with Asami, getting her U-Haul and packing it up into the spirit realm. No, I don't have anything wrong with it, but I'm saying she was packing her U-Haul into the spirit realm, like, come on with me, let's go, let's go be lesbies in the spirit realm. Like, come on. Like, there's no way. Okay, hear me out. A grown, like, cranky old Toph, back aching, my back, was able to knock Korra flat with no effort, like extreme minimal effort.
That was extreme minimal effort.
Toph said, "Don't tell Korra. All that shit hurt."
Yeah, because she's old.
But she's old. So
she old. We're talking about 27. We're talking about 26-year-old Toph. Not 80. We're talking 26. We're talking 26-year-old Toph.
Sidebar.
Personally.
26-year-old Toph and end of series Korra is leaving to the spirit realm together. So I'm just if I'm just keeping it at
anyway, Toph for me. We were talking about this a little bit before we started. I don't think that there's a bender in the verse that one-on-one is really fucking with Toph. Toph is just on more than one occasion has proven to be like almost untouchable.
Amon would bloodbend her into submission.
Okay, let's talk about bloodbending. Does bloodbending, because I've never seen bloodbending work out of line of sight.
No, it gotta be line of sight.
Okay.
It gotta be.
No, I've never seen bloodbending work out of line of sight. I've also never seen bloodbending work through metal bending. Through the metal. I've never seen it work through rock covering or rock armor.
Through the metal.
Armor. If Toph equips metal on her body, I've never seen bloodbending work through that. I've never seen bloodbending work through rock armor.
Got her ass bloodbended in police uniform.
But she wasn't covered in it. That's the argument.
Her entire body was covered in it. Face,
she was in the
eyes, all of it covered. Is what I'm talking about. She was in
the original series. In the original Avatar: The Last Airbending series, she put earth all around herself, not metal. And so I think that's what Klepto is getting at, that would cause interference with the bloodbending, not being able to see the body. But while I agree with the concept, I disagree that would be the case, because I think that a waterbender wouldn't necessarily have to see the water in order to bend it. Because if that was the case, Katara couldn't bend the water out of her gore. She doesn't see it; she feels it with her bending. Yeah. So
okay, I understand that to an extent. I don't know. However, I'm just trying to think of ways, because I'm trying to think of ways to counter bloodbending, because if there's no counter to it, it's broken.
The only counter was the Avatar state. Everyone else was getting crumpled up, Toph included. Aang included, until he put the lights on.
Nah, because that's really what that scene was like. He was dying, and then he was like, "Wait, hold on."
Yeah.
Bravo, come up. Yoshi.
Why am I bending not working? All you heard was Kiyoshi loading the toxic back. Yeah.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I'm taking Toph over Korra.
Prime Top with Cat Korra.
I have to agree.
I don't think so.
Okay, what argument do you have for Korra? What ability?
We're just talking
Korra
bending.
have?
Yeah, we're just talking bending.
What bending ability does Korra have to help her defeat Toph?
If we're taking the Avatar state out of it, then it probably shouldn't be Korra playing.
Avatar state could be in it.
I still think with Avatar State, I don't think like Korra's out bending Toph.
Avatar State. Yeah, no.
I'm sorry. Avatar state on any Avatar is like
It is busted.
It's more powerful bending, but it doesn't make them a better bender.
Yeah. That's what I'm getting at. Like, it's like
the Avatar state
because
take the Avatar state against the spirit. It wasn't a corporeal being.
What's a good comparison?
Being a corporeal being doesn't make you stronger.
I think Toph could outdo Kon.
Y'all seen the Osan Nubia adventure, right? Y'all seen Osan. Hold on. Y'all seen the Osan Nubia adventure, right?
Yes.
Osan Nubia Adventures, the anime about the guy who's trying to be an adventurer at the age of 30.
It's trained.
Okay, so anyway, I use that as an example because take that guy, right? And that verse, once you reach a certain age and you get to a certain power, your power doesn't grow. You can't increase your magic power. However, you can refine your magic ability. I don't think there's a more refined bender than Toph. So from a bending perspective, she's like a genius, mad scientist, meaning like in her prime, there's probably nothing earth bending wise she can't do. Except maybe magma bending, because I don't think she saw that until that was something that came a generation after her. But in her prime, I don't think there's nothing earth bending wise she can't do because she's refined it to that point. So even with the Avatar state, I don't think, like, yes, it increases her Avatar power output. She could try to overwhelm Toph with the different elements. However, I don't, but because of how refined Toph's bending is, I think she would still present more than a problem and probably would even beat Korra in Avatar state bending.
Zahir gave her almost the work. Okay.
Is she in Avatar state against Zahir?
He forced it because he poisoned her.
Oh, he forced the Avatar state and he still gave her the work? Because I don't remember. I don't remember that fight completely, which is why I'm asking.
He was running the fuck away from her for half that fight because he needed the poison to kill her.
Okay.
And then the other airbender.
I was gonna use that as an example, but he ran, so we can't use that. I don't think Toph would run.
He ran for part of it, but then at one point he was trying to.
Initially,
he ran for half of it.
Initially, he was like, "Yeah, we gonna kill her," and then
the point that I'm making is that if Zahir was a threat,
right,
Toph is more of a threat than Zahir.
That's what I'm saying.
Way more than Zahir.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and what I'm speaking, I can't speak to what's in the show because obviously they didn't really explore what Toph's abilities are. We're definitely into hypothetical realm when we're talking prime Toph and what she could do. But I'm just saying, hypothetically, to be the mastermind that Toph was when it came to bending, because it was literally all she did. It was what she was the best at. I just find I'm just saying Toph probably reached levels of brokenness we didn't even get to see. Like, when we saw old Toph, she was hands behind the back sliding on mud bending, bro. Like, she barely moved her hands. Like, I'm talking about she was on some like, man, let me throw my shoulder out and watch the mud move. Like, what What is that? You see what I'm saying?
She barely
Like,
use any hand movement fighting her children, bro.
that's what I'm saying, bro. So it's like, imagine what 26-year-old Toph could do in the heat of battle, like against the Avatar. You know she going all out. You know she pulling all the stops. Hey, bro, they rolled up to Ba Sing Se, and she took the stairs and she made a slide.
Her and Andy did that shit. Yeah.
The biggest hand.
You know, the slide was
You
her.
really believe that she
Aang
couldn't do
helped
it?
go up the slide. She made the slide by herself.
Yeah, she
Like,
made the slide herself.
That's
He
what I'm
was just the one
saying,
that helped
bro.
move.
Like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
So the biggest handicap is Korra's mental stability, which is what Klepto said earlier, and that has shown.
We can take that out too.
I mean, you can't, because it's always been a factor.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It has been a factor.
what
But I'm
he's
just saying,
saying
bro. I'm
is-
saying,
I get what you're
even
saying
if
on
you
that.
take it out,
I get what you
I'm
get.
still picking Toph.
I get what you're saying. I'm just saying you
I
really
was
can't. It's
like,
just always
nah,
been
I
a
don't
factor.
believe it. All right. So, being that we can't come to a unanimous decision, we're gonna move on. So now we have.
You're for the sake of argument, though. I really do, because don't get me wrong. I do understand what Corey is saying as far as Avatar State, because we saw what Aang did to Ozai. Like, come on, bro. Aang put belt to ass against Ozai. We saw that. We all saw that.
Ratu, I was like,
You know what I'm saying? So it's not to sneeze at the Avatar State like it's nothing. It's just that's how good I think Toph was.
Mhm.
It ain't even about Korra being weak. That's how good I think Toph was in her prime. Oh well, he a Korra hater. I'm trying to have open dialogue.
I enjoyed the show. I thought the show was good. I loved the show. I liked her Avatar journey. I thought it was great for what it was. I enjoyed being able to see the first Avatar, but I think that she is one of the most garbage avatars of all time. I think that she caused the destruction. I think that when we get into this new Avatar show, it's going to be shown what a hot, terrible avatar she was, and how she somehow pissed off the spirits, and the spirits came to Earth and just said, you know what, since the Avatar is going to wreak havoc in our realm, we're going to come wreak havoc in your. I'm telling you, I'm calling it now. Look, at the time we're filming this is May 18th, 2025.
If you just called the plot, I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna be so salty. Oh my gosh.
Klaus, I think.
Oh, you good?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, go ahead and make your point, then we're gonna move to the next step battle.
Toph is an amazing bender. And I would not want to see her fight with another bender from any bending thing, period. Because they're gonna lose. It's gonna hurt. It's like putting Azula in a room with other benders. You're gonna lose.
Azula is another one of the ones, for sure. We should have did Azula versus Toph. That would have been crazy.
I don't ever want to see that fight. Actually. Nah,
that's gonna end up. It's gonna be an Avatar version of Punk Hazard out there.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying?
We're gonna have that one day. We'll save that one.
I feel like the only thing that's saving Korra is the fact that she's the Avatar, and that's why I'm not budging from it. Simply because I'm like, the Avatar state is like, I'm gonna set this noob off in your living room. Like,
like I said, it ain't nothing to sneeze at. It ain't nothing to sneeze
not at all.
Sure.
And that's where I'm like,
at you.
If Korra was like, I'm just a waterbender, that's your ass. Like, I'm sorry, you fix mix. Top about to be like, oh, you made some butter. That's you.
This man said, achoo. Then.
All right.
What's
so,
the next one?
On to the next one. Meliodas from Seven Deadly Sins versus Yusuke Urameshi from Yu Yu Hakusho.
Okay, before we start, which version of Meliodas is
Pre-death
this?
or after death?
Yeah, I was like, is this post-death?
Put them both at their peak. Put them both at their peak.
Okay, so after death. I would say Meliodas can't full counter hands, but after death, I don't think he needs to.
Yeah, post-death, it don't matter.
Yeah, I was about to say post-death, it don't matter, but
he's not.
Meliodas doesn't. Hold on.
Post-death.
Meliodas doesn't have Yusuke's feats.
That's true.
Meliodas does not have Yusuke's feats.
Well, are we counting?
Meliodas has what's the one you love the quote about Yusuke like flipping the water from the world?
So,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was talking to you.
Okay, so at the end of the manga and anime, it is confirmed that Yusuke Urameshi has the strength equivalent to lift the entire world's weight of water.
Yeah,
so
Meliodas does not have a feat equivalent to that.
Didn't Meliodas stop the sun?
Stop the sun or a sun? There's a difference.
His power is equivalent to the sun.
The sun? Again, the sun or a sun?
Lion
I forgot about that.
The Lion Sin of Pride,
Yes.
sun is the equivalent.
Next question. Was it a projectile?
Well,
Because full counter works on projectiles, regardless of power output.
He didn't full counter. He Goku that.
I mean, I didn't watch it, so I'm asking.
He Goku that bitch boom and
Was this pre-death or post-death?
I want to say post-death.
I don't know how heavy. I need the weight because I don't know if that's equivalent to the weight of the world's ocean. To be honest.
Let me just go ahead and say this also. So, bear in mind that before Yusuke could do that, if he can, because that's just him saying it, we don't know that he actually could, that's just his statement.
Okay.
But assuming that statement is true, for sake of argument, before he could do that, in the Dark Tournament, he blew a hole through Taguro, like blew him to smithereens, and that was just then. Now he's had time to train with a demon of his own kind for years, in the demon realm, which is much, much harsher than the active human realm, and we saw that in the show. Beyond that, now he has multiple people stronger than him to train him as well, because all of Raizen's allies were there, and Yusuke's fighting him, and he's not leaving until he can beat them all, because Yusuke's just that guy that he's got to be the baddest of the bad. So, with that being said, I don't believe, let me cook for a minute. It is my personal belief within all the 7 deadly sins that I've seen, and I haven't seen as much as y'all have seen.
I haven't seen them all.
But it is my firm opinion that combined with the spirit wave that has been proven to magnify your spirit energy output, and now that Yusuke also has access to demon energy, which he can then use to combine with his spirit energy for an even more deadly combination, and then magnify it through spirit wave, I don't see a magic or energy output feat from Meliodas to equivalent to that, because to me at that point you could make the statement that Yusuke is not universal, but at that point he's planetary. He's at least Vegeta, like Saiyan arc level. Like he could put a hole in the fucking planet.
And Meliodas put a hole in the planet? That's a genuine question.
I definitely believe so.
Almost pretty sure he could post-death.
Okay. Was that through energy projection or just hands?
No.
Everything about him gets. So the thing with Meliodas is.
Hold on, I got you. Post-death, and during the pretty much the final war between all factions, demons, angels, humanity, he ends up becoming the new Demon King, and pretty much the new Archangel or some shit like that. And
does that put him the top of his world?
Yes.
Okay.
In essence, yeah.
In essence, what does that mean?
But what are his feats? What can he do?
Yeah, because in Yusuke's case, there's no essence. He is the top dog at the end.
And when I say in essence, it's almost unscalable. But basically, he broke nature because he shouldn't be able to do that shit, because those are two opposing forces of power, and he does it anyways, and then
What does he do?
he becomes the head of heaven and hell, essentially.
Okay, so breaking nature is on some Sung Jinwoo type level stuff. I ain't gonna care.
Yeah.
But I still need to know. I'm with Tyler. Hold on.
Hell nah. I'm sorry. Absolutely not.
Hold on.
You didn't just say
Excluding
that.
the Shadow Army. 1v1, I think Yusuke could take you.
No.
That's my hot take.
The solo leveling. I just read Sung Jinwoo. I just finished Sung Jinwoo.
Hold on, not a
The solo leveling.
Jeju Island Jinwoo.
I was
like
about to
first
say,
time the
brother.
Demon Council.
I was about to say, brother, I know you love Yusuke, but like,
What did he say?
Nah. Let me be clear. I'm talking specifically about. I'm specifically talking about where the anime just left off. I don't mean in general because I know when the anime progresses, Jinwoo is going to far outscale Yusuke. But as it currently stands, yes.
I was about to say, what? Without the Shadow Army, he's still killing a lot of people.
Yes.
You're fighting alien gods.
But at the end of the day, with everything that we just gave y'all, he can pretty much break the world and reshape it in his image if he wanted to.
He can break
So he
the
can reality
world.
warp.
He can break the world and
That's
reshape
exactly
it in
what
his
happens
image.
at the end of Seven Deadly Sins. Reality gets warped because he killed his dad, and then the opposing god, the goddess, he clapped her shit too, because they were gonna kill Princess. What's her name?
Right hand.
I don't remember.
Elizabeth.
Yes, they were gonna kill Elizabeth, and he was like, "Nah, I'm good off that."
So he killed all the high tier beings in his verse and then became the only powerful being. And because he was the only powerful being, his two powers collided and caused reality to collapse.
Reality collapses and chaos is created, which is this separate force that basically
Does he beat and contain the chaos force?
That's a whole new series that's going on now.
Yeah,
So it's not even done yet. All right. I mean, I'm understanding the type where he ends up, but what it's not giving me anything scalable to a fight. Yeah, it's not giving me anything scalable to a fight. And while his abilities as a being may have grown stronger, I'm not hearing anything that would make me say, ooh, maybe Yusuke couldn't handle that. Fighting wise.
I think it'll be a stalemate as far as physical abilities go, because Meliodas is busted after death.
I think them niggas
I would say that, but like, I ain't gonna lie, adult Yusuke, thinking of adult Yusuke kind of, because I haven't read it to the end. Is he an adult by the end of Yu Yu Hakusho?
So he's like 18 years old.
18? So like 18,
something like that.
18-year-old you, that's kind of scaring me. You know what I'm saying? 18-year-old Yusuke is kind of,
Because he's
it's
a
like,
Mozuku.
what is that? Why he like that at 18? He not even 25 yet. What is that? He walking around here worse than
20-year-old Ryzen.
He walking around here worse than Netero at 20. Like, what is that, bro? That's crazy. So I don't know if Meliodas is really. I don't know if he got it. I need to know what exactly his powers are. What his power set is at that point.
Oh, okay.
All right, so
until then, I'm still
as well. Then Meliodas is.
Well, no, just age, because it's just not just. I'm only saying age because I don't know how old Yusuke was, but obviously Meliodas is way older than Yusuke because he's been alive forever. Yeah, I mean, he's been alive forever, but. Not that age matters, it's just more so the progression of powers and abilities. Like, we've seen Yusuke be
just a
regular middle school fighter to a 20-year-old fighter with demon powers. Meliodas has been full counter and some magic abilities, but as far as like really great feats, I don't know.
Yeah, because he also
it's still the Yusuke.
Yeah, they kind of.
Meliodas went through a process of like closing off his power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't like he had an issue with controlling his emotions when it came to Elizabeth because of their situation. Like every time she dies, she reincarnates.
he would have to.
And he can't die.
I mean, Yusuke
Yeah,
had
I didn't know
initial
that.
emotions too. I mean, that was the same thing at the Dark Tournament.
This is true. But did
I don't know.
you
So
Me personally,
let's just agree to disagree.
I was about to say everybody can pick their side. Me personally, I'm taking Yusuke just because I know the character, I know the feats. Meliodas is strong, but I'm not hearing any feats comparable to Yusuke's. Personally.
So on the next step battle, we have Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan versus the winner, Lelouch, Britannia,
Lelouch beat
from
Britannia.
Geass.
With the mech.
With his
That's
mech.
important.
So
That's important.
Eren has access to all his Titan forms, but Lelouch has access to his mech fully charged with all his weapons. And he has his Geass
And his ability. Yeah.
Okay, because the only thing I really don't even think he needs the mech. As soon as the Geass goes off and he hits him with the "Hey, just kill yourself," that's kind of it. Because and we've seen it do it on its own.
Yeah.
Because of overuse when he did it with his sister.
Yep.
And he was like,
That was
"Yeah, I got this
normal
power."
conversation.
And I
Right?
just told you, like, right now, for instance, to kill all the 11s.
That was just a normal conversation. His eye just said, "Wink."
And I said, "Oh yeah, no problem." Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I do want to make it a little more, I want to say, fair. Let's say Eren, well, let's set the stage. Eren, they meet in Eren's verse. Somehow Lelouch has his mech and abilities in Eren's verse. We'll skip all that. But when they pull up on each other, Eren has already summoned the Titans. So it's the face-off of Lelouch in the mech versus Eren and the summoned Titans already. Don't get me wrong, I'm still taking Lelouch 1000%.
Question.
Just because he only need about 5. He only need about 5 or 10 to start,
Question.
and then it's going to start to.
The Titans do have minds, right? They are not like brainless.
Yeah, I do believe so. I do
No,
believe.
they're humans that got
Yeah,
transformed into monsters.
yeah.
Okay.
They're still able to speak and think and
They're basically human mechs.
yeah.
I kind of remember that because I never really finished it. I think I was like 2 or 3 episodes away from finishing the whole thing, but I never really finished it. And there's always
Yeah,
questions
good
I've
luck.
had. Okay, so
I can't
they're
do it.
humanoid mechs. Okay, well, yeah. Depending on their will, that they're all under control.
Not even that. I'm gonna give it to you like this. Not even including the Geass, right? Not even including the Geass, just with the mech alone, there's no.
I mean, they don't have the
standing up
technology.
to it. Like,
Yeah, they don't have the technology.
listen, Levi Ackerman put the work in on the Beast Titan, and I don't foresee. I have watched it from beginning to end, read it, and I'm here to tell you, in a mech, there is nothing from Code Geass that Attack on Titan is ready for. Like, I'm coming in
Yeah,
with
they
an
got
energy
lasers.
sword, and
Yeah, they got. I was about to say. They got lasers, bro.
and I'm in a metal suit. You're in a fleshy armor. Like, I'm basically a giant Iron Man. What do you have?
Oh,
What do you have? And then I can propel myself to go even faster than human speed with rockets on my legs. Like, and then if all that fails, all I gotta do is knock your bitch ass out of your head, like just throw punch the shit out of you, knock you out of that body, and then pop out of my mech and look at my eye. Like,
Oh, me, bro.
Get you over the loudspeaker. I, Lelouch B. Britannia, command you to go drown yourself. Like over.
Man.
Roll in there.
so with absolute certainty, Lelouch would walk Eren Yeager. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Now, the fact that we gave him the
I
mech,
agree.
I did want to mention that mech has these 2 shoulder cannons that shoots like this weird ass laser. That shit just be doing whatever it hit, vapor. It's gone.
It's been a minute since
Mm-mm.
He wiping out.
it's been a minute
Same.
since I watched Code Geass, so like y'all are really pretty much revamping memories right now. But okay.
I gotta rewatch it. I gotta
So-
Did y'all know
re-educate
there's
myself.
another series of Code Geass?
Yeah, they just started it. Supposedly, this chick also has the power of Geass. We don't know how it connects into the other series just yet. It's a whole thing.
Does hers work the same as Alicia's? Because it could be a different Geos ability.
Yeah.
It could be, and I don't know if it continues off where the movie left off, because that movie, Lelouch was bad.
That's crazy.
I'm sorry, dude, huh?
He didn't die at the end. In the same way his dad wouldn't die. So.
Let me find out Lelouch had children.
No.
Let me find out Lelouch had children.
No, I don't
You
think
realize
he
that
did.
makes him the smartest person in anime, right?
It
If that's the
probably.
case, that makes him
I
the
would be
smartest
surprised.
person in anime. To literally plan all that stuff, fake his own death as somebody who doesn't exist, only to come back as his real self. Crazy.
Damn. Anyway.
Like, watch me control the entire world. That's some Doctor Doom shit right there.
Yeah.
That's always who Lelouch was. I mean, he struggled with it at the beginning.
Truly.
That's wild.
Love it. Now, on to the one I think Klepto and Flouse Boss are most excited for.
Man.
I'm really not.
Madara Uchiha versus Gojo Saki.
It sucks being on the opposite side of things. Because, like, while I do like to back and forth, I'm also like, why we gotta do this?
Okay, here's my question. With Madara's power set, what can he do to get through Limitless? And if it's nothing, that's okay. Because I am fully aware that he could just be like, I'm putting this nigga in a rock.
First of all, I do not think Limitless is this end-all be-all technique. I think Limitless actually is more like Gaara's sand armor and is a huge risk in terms of...
Oh, the only reason it's not that for Gojo is because he has 6 of us. Otherwise, you're absolutely right.
Right. However...
Do you... I'll let Klepto go first.
You have a question? You had a question?
I was just going to say... Eyes Madara have the ability to summon the various tailed beasts, right?
No. Madara would only have the ability to summon the 9 tails because he forced contract through Sharingan or through Genjutsu, pretty much.
So I have the power to summon the 9 tails. Does Gojo's?
I wasn't even gonna go there, to be honest.
Hold on. Assuming it's not Naruto yet. So, with the 9 tails, using the 9 tails, putting a Susanoo on that, and then having it fight Gojo, what's Gojo's defense against that?
Purple's not withstanding Tailed Beast Bone.
Yeah.
I don't think Limitless is dealing with Tailed Beast Bone.
The way Limitless works is essentially Gojo has this ability where he decides if something touches him or not.
Yes.
And
but it lasts as long as his stamina, right?
So the catch-22 with Gojo is his stamina is like nigh limitless because of his 6 eyes. That's why he was like the strongest of the modern era, and he was so strong he felt like he was by himself. Because he has the 6 eyes and limitless, they like feedback loop into one another, and so he's never tired.
So he can essentially cast reverse curse technique to replenish stamina, essentially, is what he's getting at. And so that's why it essentially feels like he never runs out of the limitless never comes down. However, which is what I was about to get into, in the fight versus Sukuna, he can be overwhelmed and Limitless can stop the function, which Madara would 1000% be able to overwhelm Gojo. Not with just a myriad of jutsu, but also a myriad. I mean, let's take into account his Sharingan abilities. Let's take into account Susanoo. Like,
calling down meteors.
Physically stronger than Gojo, faster than Gojo. I don't see how
Analyzing his fighting ability in real time.
Literally, I don't see how Gojo could do anything to not only to defend while attacking. Because let's say Madara has a hard time getting through his defense. What offensively could Gojo do to hurt Madara?
Blue,
That Madara wouldn't have an answer for.
Blue at 100 output.
Could be shut down with the Sharingan.
Okay, well then you still have to deal with red. There is
Tell
white.
Beast Bomb.
How many? Madara doesn't have.
Tell Beast Bomb. Majestic. Hold on. Tell Beast Bomb. Majestic Destroyer Flame. Fireball Jutsu. Any fire style. Deep Forest Emergence.
That's Madara.
Deep Forest Emergence, and then what's the one from the heavens? The planetary devastation. Bro, there's just a myriad of ways Madara can overwhelm Gojo, and I don't think Gojo. I don't think no. I don't think. Let me say this. Let me say this before we continue. I don't think there's. I don't think there's a verse. Hold on. I don't think there is any character in Jujutsu Kaisen that scales to Naruto except Gojo. Let me go ahead and put that out there. Point blank. Period. Okay. I don't think Gojo and Ten Shadows technique, specifically Maorga, just because Maorga is the most rustic thing ever invented. Sukuna doesn't beat Gojo without it. It's the only reason he won. I stand on all that for all you Sukuna fans out there.
He barely won because he tried something at the drop of the hat, and of course, the writer himself said, "I don't like that I made Gojo, so yeah, this is where I'm going to choose for him to die." On a whim. Because on paper, that doesn't make sense.
On a whim. So now back to the matter at hand. Again, now, I'm failing to see how
my caveat
Gojo doesn't get overwhelmed.
Specifically is fighting Sukuna, Gojo didn't get overwhelmed. There was a point where they both burned out each other's curse technique. Both of their short hits both through to back-to-back domain expansion.
Right. So he got pushed into a corner and was what? Oh, say the word.
Yes, he was overwhelmed.
Okay.
But
so
again, very specific. So let's
true. I'll give you very specific conditions. However, I just named 3 jutsus that would create said specific condition. I didn't even get into Madara's Genjutsu. I didn't get into Madara possibly casting Izanami or Izanami. Bro, the amount of tools at Madara's is too stacked in his favor. It's too stacked in his favor. And you're telling me Limitless is the outlier?
No, Madara doesn't have that actually.
We're taking peak versus peak, no?
I thought it was peak versus peak. That's what I said at the beginning.
I thought it was peak versus peak.
Excluding Ten Tails Jinchuriki, because obviously that wouldn't be fair.
I don't even want to use the Ten Tails.
Not using the Tensei.
That's aliens. We don't like aliens.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so even peak versus peak Madara also, just to point this out, doesn't have access to without tail beast bomb.
That's fine. So we will take out the 9-tail summoning because I think 9-tails by itself, Gojo couldn't do nothing with 9-tails. He's not doing shit with Kurama. Stop it. Put it away. Put it in your back pocket. Yeah. Stop. Put it in your back pocket. If he's summoning Kurama, he don't even have to fight. It's over. All right.
He just leave.
Literally.
Unless can tail beasts get brain damage?
Can they get? I mean, they take damage. I don't think they.
No, but can they get
brain damage? No, I don't think normal. Yeah, I was about to say I don't think normal human injuries apply to. Yeah, I was about to say I don't think normal human injuries apply to.
My only specific caveat is Limitless works in a very.
It does.
Stupid way.
It does. Absolutely, it does work in a stupid way. But like I said, if Madara is able to create a situation where Gojo can no longer sustain limitless and do the other things he needs to do, like attacking or like he's slowing down on casting reverse curse technique or whatever the case may be, Madara's gonna be a problem. And it's not gonna stop. Like Madara has the offensive firepower to keep going. Him and Hashirama fought for days. 4 days. Like, these are ninja who didn't fight. Like, most of the fights you see in Jujutsu Kaisen are like 1 day, couple hours. Nah, bro. These ninjas was fighting for days. They was getting it in, scrapping just cuz for days. Like, no.
Hell yeah.
I gotta disagree, bro. Like, I like Gojo, and I think Gojo would make, like I said, Gojo's the only character from that anime, in my opinion. You could scale to Naruto, but when you talking about the big bad, Madara Uchiha, like literally everything we wanted him to be as a villain, I don't know, bro. Oh no, bro.
The only part I'm having trouble with is Madara could get brain death.
He could. He could.
So if that shit keep off, I don't know what's gonna happen. Yeah, because he
could.
Chakra disrupted because you got brain cancer. Like it.
Okay.
He could. I don't know, man. I think ultimately it would come down.
Reaction time to Madara.
I was just about to say
that Madara could activate Izanagi and negate.
What I would say is
a big argument in both communities.
I was just about to say
highly comparable to Sharingan. It's damn near the same kid.
It is. And so to me, it comes down to, can Six Eyes activate in the same time frame or same speed? Let me not say. I meant domain expansion. Domain expansion to me would be the only way Gojo wins. But can he get it? Can he activate it faster than Madara can activate Genjutsu? Or not even just Madara. Any Sharingan in the show. Can domain expansion be activated faster than a Sharingan's Genjutsu? Because if it cannot, I do not care about your domain expansion.
Question.
That's the caveat.
With that being said, we're going to move on to our next death battle.
Yeah, we can call it right now.
Now we're going to move on to Alucard from Hellsing versus Ryuk from Death Note.
I ain't gonna lie, after learning about the Philosopher's Stones, that just only furthered the Alucard.
That was the comparable thing I had for it, but he says it in the show, I am the bird of Hermes. Bird Hermes is a phoenix. And he's like, I'll eat my wings to gain my power. So basically, Alucard has like it's almost infinite amount of lives. And then each one of those lives has his base power, and then they go in a certain direction. That's why throughout the show, we see him show up in these multiple forms. And one of them, he's a girl in all white. These are like, it's pointing to this different alchemic sort of Hermes Trismegistus type hermetic ancient shit.
The thing I would give it to Alucard over Ryuk is that, as we stated pre-meeting, that, Ryuk kind of subsists off of the Death Note. Like, he can only do as the Death Note commands. And even if he was unbound from the Death Note, is there a way for him to counteract the kind of infinite life thing, as Klepto or as Lost Boss mentioned? And the answer to that is no, I don't think so. But I think
he literally have to find a new user mid-fight and be like, I need you to write his name in the book every time he comes back.
It wouldn't matter. He just come back to life. Yeah.
But in all honesty, I still think y'all overlooking the fact that this man is technically Dracula, and there's no normal means to kill a vampire but to stake him or...
It doesn't matter. The Death Note doesn't. The Death Note just says you're dead. It doesn't.
Yeah.
You don't. There doesn't have to be a specific cause of death. If you're an entity with a name,
hold on.
But how does that work technically against a demon, though?
In the same way,
I was just about to ask that question. Would that still account for monsters? Right. Does it work for Shinigami too? If you write the name in the book, they die too.
That's how you would kill. That's how you kill Ryu.
There you go then. So that's
it. Because you can do it to other Shinigami. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you good. I was
agreeing.
Other
Shinigami for other books.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, if there's a Shinigami that represents something else, but they know the true name of it, he could ask Light to write it within the Death Note. With that in mind.
So what if? Because I think Alucard has a true name, if I'm not mistaken. That's in the story somewhere.
It doesn't matter. If what Corey is saying and that he can just keep coming back as just different people, then
but what if you speak his true name? Well,
change.
Does he come back under? Life. Hold on. Does he come back under the same name each life? Okay, then what you're saying would be true.
He's different version of himself from previous iterations of himself.
That's what I'm saying.
That's really, really busted.
Yeah, because I was about to say if he had a true name, then
he does.
There would be a way. There would be a way to shut all that down. Yeah,
it's changing based on almost like his self-perception.
He's got to have an origin. He's got to have an origin name, though. He has to have an origin name.
If you haven't read this series, this will be confusing. But if you've read this series, it'll make perfect sense. So, Aragon is a series where they discuss the concept of your true name evolving as you discover things about yourself and as you evolve as a person. Because throughout the character development of certain people within the series, their true name alters. And it specifically discusses the main character as how he was this simple farm boy in the beginning, and at the end, he's this really promising dragon rider. So the name he had at the beginning is not the name he has by the end. By the end, it's more difficult for him to find his true name because he is such a complex person by the end. In a similar fashion, I think how Alucard's name would change with each iteration of his life is because he's experiencing that life in a different manner. Almost kind of like the Everybody album from Logic, where you're all a single entity. So the single entity is Alucard, or whatever the base essence of his true name is, but the suffixes or the slight differences within these different lives that he's led, he being, a general term as Alucard, because I recognize that there are different genders, what have you.
Right.
But within that realm of thinking, within the different lives that he's lived, that name is getting either longer or shortening or changing based upon different aspects, is I think what Corey was getting at. And for that reason,
I understand that. I understand that. Like I said, I'm just playing devil's advocate. Two, I'm just trying to see if there would even be a way to bypass, dealing with the Phoenix Feathers or dealing with the hundreds of millions of Philosopher's Stones or whatever the case may be. Because, it's like there has to be some way to undercut Alucard or at least hurt him.
He doesn't actually have millions of Philosopher's Stones. I was putting that as like as an example of
I got you.
How because it's really ridiculous. The way there is ways to undercut it, whatever iteration you're dealing with, but the problem is he doesn't stay dead.
Bro, it's like an anti-hero Wukong, bro. What the hell?
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's really dark and like depending on which version you're dealing with, it's bad for you.
An immortal vampire with different versions of himself is crazy.
Oh no, it's split personalities.
I don't necessarily think he's a vampire either. If we're being honest, bro.
Just like a vampire because of the dark and immortality, like the darkest brooding immortality type of energy he got. That's why I say vampire.
In the series,
and his name's Alucard. So
in the series, he's technically a werewolf. He's technically a vampire. He's technically some shape-shifting monster that they mentioned in the series before.
Bro is the devil, like
pretty much. Like one of his nicknames in the show is definitely like I think it was the Devil's Hellhound or something.
Bro is El Diablo himself.
Yeah,
because ain't no way.
Yeah,
if he the devil right hand man, I don't want to meet the devil. That's crazy.
I'm good. Yeah.
What is that?
No, look, this is who you got working for you. I'm good. Stay over there.
I'm good.
I could, you know what, though? Thinking about this whole death battle, though, real quick. I'm gonna make this real quick. Think about this whole death battle. Can y'all imagine that they did this in Hellsinger Bridge, and he is Light actually writes like Alucard in the book, and then he comes back as somebody else. He's like, he just dies, wakes up like, what the fuck was that?
Bruh.
Or watch him be like, that tickled, and you just see Light go, What?
What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he just
Huh?
Yeah, but now he done shit about you.
Look, then you look outside, Ryuk already around the corner, talking about, you better run.
I'm running. You better run.
I've never seen that happen before.
You better run.
That boy Ryuk up to go. He's like, oh nah.
Shoot, while Ryuk is doing the deed, he just like looks at him, and you see Alucard staring at him like, "What the fuck you think you're doing?"
I think this next death battle is more for comedic value than anything else, based on one of the characters that's involved. But I'll go ahead and put it out there. So this one is Killua Zoldyck from Hunter x Hunter versus Shoto Todoroki. Now, for me personally, the reason that I say that it is comical or comedic is because when looking at the two characters, the speed differential is the equivalent of basically being a mile wide. It's not even by a close margin. And you talk about just ways of taking somebody out of this nightmare and the access to those techniques that Killua has. I just want to say it was very reminiscent of the Videl fight from the World Tournament back in the day. And I just want to say I'm sorry to all the Shoto Todoroki fans for this, but we're going to have to discuss Killua versus Shoto. Let's get into it.
Let me go first. Y'all remember the episode when he was fighting nobody in the cave, and then he just like walked by and was already holding that brown paper bag?
Yeah.
When they were in the Hunter exam. Yeah.
So,
Bro didn't even have Ned.
So it's gonna be like that, but since Todoroki is like half and half, he's gonna be like two boxes. One with fire underneath it, the other one is an ice chest. And
He said, I'm taking out both sides of your chest where your heart's supposed to be at.
He turned him into a Mario.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's fucking square.
Chill.
I mean, unless somehow Todoroki has knowledge of this man and kind of and has eyes on him beforehand.
Okay, nah, because eyes on him don't even make a difference. But let's do it justice. Let's do it justice. Todoroki has wide range ice attacks, so I think he'd be able to put up a pretty decent defensive stand. However, his fire is not fast enough. His fire is not fast enough. Go ahead.
So, at absolute best case scenario for Shoto is a stalemate.
Absolute best.
What he could do, what is well within his capabilities, especially because he has the eyesight, is he could do what his dad never could. And he could maintain that temperature to basically be the Human Torch in the world of My Hero Academia. And if it was to that point, then I don't see Killua being able to take the W at that point because we have not seen him have that level of fire resistance. So,
I mean,
not to say he couldn't, but with the heat level that Shoto would be able to take it to, because he's already shown with the plasma technique that he gets to such a varying degree of temperature that I think that would put a damper on Killua, not necessarily take him out, but enough to keep him at bay, keep him from wanting to proceed forward, because as much as Killua wants to win his fights, as much as he wants to kill whoever he deems necessary to kill, Killua's not going to let himself be taken out. He's not going to enter into a fight unless he's 1000% certain. And for the most part, when he's dealing with an enemy, that was early Killua. Of victory.
That was early.
No, even as he got into the... Go ahead.
I think we are only thinking about Killua's Nen abilities and his assassination techniques, and nobody's thinking about the 2,000-pound yo-yos that the 12-year-old boys walk around with.
Yeah, the 2,000-pound yo-yos in his pocket.
I'm concerned that we're going to get the bright idea to put some electricity on them yo-yos and then see how fast they can go across Shoto's forehead.
Oh, God.
I know he can get cold and hot, but that's not gonna help him with them 2,000-pound speeding bullets.
I ain't gonna lie. I wasn't even gonna get into the nin ability because to me personally, I don't think Killua needs Godspeed. Godspeed would just be too much. It would be like
It would be cracked.
it legit.
He'd be the number one hero in Japan.
Todoroki wouldn't know what to do with himself if he saw Godspeed. Like it's just that type of it's just that type of ability. But just even basic abilities, like you said with the yo-yos and then all the assassin, like the rhythm stuff, like bro, like he literally in real time took steps and created after images. No, stop, cut it. What? I mean, Shoto's never even seen anything like that. There's nobody in My Hero moving that fast. Not walking.
Not walking.
I'm talking about bro was scrolling and was like, "Ooh. Oh nah."
Let me ask y'all this real quick, because I think we're all pretty much in agreement that Killua takes the W.
Absolutely.
But let me ask you this: how do you think the top heroes, specifically from the timeline of My Hero Academia, not Vigilantes, but My Hero Academia, how would they fare against the members of the Phantom Troop?
The top heroes versus the Phantom Troop? The top heroes would die. Oh, like legit, the guy with the mask, he killing everybody. And then the blonde hair dude, he ripping people in half.
Rose dropped the sun on him.
The girl with the vacuum, yeah, it's all bad. It's all bad. And don't even let Hisoka show up.
She's
or Crollo.
Literally going
Crollo
to
don't even have to be there.
Everyone.
The facts.
And not in a good way.
Facts. Like Crollo don't even have to be there. Don't let Hisoka show up. Nah, that's just a bad day for anybody involved. I ain't gonna hold you.
Let's not bring him up.
Nah.
Put him back in your back pocket. Let's not bring him up.
Wait. Let Hisoka, let Crollo be there. I know who'll defeat them all. From the My Hero verse. You know who's defeating them all? You ready for it? Right here, right now, you know who's taking the W? My main man, Rock Lock for the win. Rock Lock for the win.
Yeah, for a couple of seconds, and then Hisoka taking his butt.
Place, brother. Nah, brother, you're locked in, brother.
For a couple of seconds, then Hisoka taking his butt.
Nah, because when you're locked in, I got All Might coming, brother.
Nah, All Might catching the work too. I ain't gonna hold you.
All Might gonna try and pull up.
Hold on. I don't think a Prime All Might would lose to a Hisoka.
I can see why not.
I can see why you think that.
Prime All Might could throw out multiple punches in a row to change the literal fucking weather.
So it's gonna
Hisoka has not done anything to display that level of strength.
It's gonna be one of those situations where the humans in My Hero don't match up to the humans in Hunter x Hunter.
That's a fair statement to make, but we're not talking about a regular human. We're talking about a guy with one straw.
But when you talk about these people, them being humans is a part of it. So if naturally, as just humans, no quirk, no nin ability, you are stronger and more durable, that still counts, especially considering both power bases rely on human anatomy and human stamina to use. So again, All Might, powerful, definitely in his prime, top dog, scary, all that. Hisoka is a different demon entirely. I'm just saying.
It's fine and dandy, but the reality is
how does All Might deal with bungee gum? And then I'm speaking to you anime only as well. I haven't even touched on what's dark continent related.
If you stick yourself
so like you see what I'm saying.
Yes, I understand what you're saying, and I know what you're getting at. But hear me out. Let me cook for a second.
Go ahead.
The equivalent of Hisoka doing his bungee gum to me, I'm All Might. We meet in neutral territory, not in either of our home universes where both of our abilities apply, right? So let's say Hisoka from around, I don't know, the Greed Island time when he faces off against Crollo. I think that's when that happens. Am I wrong? Am I tripping?
He faced off against Crollo. Didn't Crollo
Crollo had lost his powers, I think.
I was about to say, didn't Crollo lost his powers?
Still had that chain on his heart.
Hisoka ain't care about that fight, bro. He ain't even want that fight. He looked at
No,
Crollo and was like,
no. My point is, I'm getting at is where Hisoka was at that point in time versus. Let's go ahead
he
and
was
say
stronger later, but continue.
I know, but I'm just saying him from that point, and then let's say All Might from the very beginning of where My Hero starts. So before he'd agitated his ability to where it was, to where he couldn't even go.
Damn, you think an injured All Might is beating Hisoka?
Absolutely, 100%. So let me paint the picture for you. What I foresee happening is I think Hisoka puts his bungee gum thing on him, and I think that All Might and what he did to that Nomu is going to look like nothing. It's going to look like the equivalent of Frieza getting his tail stomped on and then beating the shit out of. Is what
the reason why
like.
that doesn't apply is because you can't see it unless Hisoka wants you to see it. You definitely can't touch it unless he wants you to touch it. So that's two. And then three. Yeah, and then if he gets in, Hisoka is also very fast and very strong normally. We haven't even talked about the Nin. We haven't even talked about the Nin behind it. I mean, the speed. All Might's not faster than Killua, and Killua got shut down by Hisoka. Shut down.
That's fair.
Shut down. So
was that when he had Godspeed?
No, he didn't use Godspeed. So I'll give you that. He didn't use Godspeed. Killua didn't use Godspeed. However, but I'm just saying, like,
because we don't know what All Might's. We can look it up now.
But no, I'm just saying, like, I'm not definitively saying Hisoka would win. I'm just saying I don't think
this won't be my original death battle, but
I don't think it's a pushover. I don't think it's like All Might's just stomping on Hisoka.
Not definitely not.
I think, especially not injured All Might. I think injured All Might is gonna have his hands full because Hisoka is.
No, I think
his hands full, but I don't think he's packing him up. Is all I'm getting at. And I definitely think that. Let me say this as well. I think Go ahead. I'll let Lost Boss go because I was about to launch it.
The only reason I disagree, if we're talking an injured All Might, Hisoka's a murderer. Like, he's
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, bungee gum is a really nasty way to kill people.
So is Shigaraki. Shigaraki's a murderer.
Shigaraki wish he was half the man Hisoka was. Okay.
Shigaraki would not walk.
That's fair.
Okay.
Shigaraki would get dusty so bad, but and the only reason
Hisoka would join the League of Villains.
Hisoka would kill the League.
Oh God. Hisoka would be like, y'all are not worthy to walk with me.
He literally would only join
Hisoka
just to kill them.
Stain.
He would literally join just to...
Stain, he would turn Stain into a ball. Like, stop.
I don't know about that one. Because
Stain's ability,
he's not Typo.
Yeah,
true, but he got a cut. Bro, just stop sleeping on Hisoka. Listen,
doesn't have super speed.
He is a weirdo. He is a creep. He is all of that. But Hisoka is a demon. Okay, he spends his life looking for strong opponents. He wants to smoke. He really Goku evil.
Yeah,
like he wants to smoke all the time.
You're right. The only person we can really put up against him would be like Baki's dad.
Hey, I'm a monster, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I don't care. Powers or not, Hama's a monster, bro. Legit. I don't care. His feats as a human are terrifying. Bro, jumped out of helicopter, kicked the office building window open, then walked through the wall.
Fuck all that. That man walked through plexiglass at that.
Stop, bro. Stop.
The ogre or Hercule Satan?
Stop. Why you do that? Why you doing that to humanity?
Hercule like that?
Why you doing that to humanity? I don't like Hercule, but I don't like Hercule, but I don't wish that upon nobody.
Hey, he gonna put Hercule on a milk carton.
Have you seen me?
No, that man, he's definitely a booty warrior. Anyway, the ogre is gonna punch that man so hard he's going to erase him from existence. It ain't gonna be no trace of that man.
He gonna put him on a box, bro. He gonna be on
Alright.
t-shirts talking about.
I got one for y'all real quick.
Okay.
Bofarine v. Tomon.
Who's Tomon?
Bro, I don't know who that is.
You know, y'all haven't watched Tokyo Revengers?
No.
I have a little. I have a
So
little.
it's
Who you
basically
talking
that
about?
gang. So he's basically saying Bofarine, the gang of high school kids from Windbreaker, versus the gang from Tokyo
Revengers.
I didn't see Tokyo Revengers, so I can't say, but
I don't think.
Bofarine got some
Yeah.
experience from what I see.
Just
The
Bofarine, and it's not even close.
I don't know, man.
only dude I know from
Bofarine.
I was just about to say,
Mikey.
Mikey's the only person from Tokyo Revengers I've
Leader
heard
of
of.
Bofarine watches.
Have you seen
Everybody
in
in
Tokyo
Bofarine
Revengers?
I've seen is crazy.
So you
Leader
seen
of-
Angry?
I would still. Y'all can disagree with me. That's fine. You can disagree with me if you want to.
I have to watch
I
it.
think the leader, and I for everybody's listening pleasure, you were the one who put me on the Windbreaker. You were the one who got me to watch it. So with all that being said, durability, the leader of Bofarine, the damage that he can take and store up and just still be dishing out hits like that.
But at
I'm
the
sorry.
same time, that's Draken and Mikey with that
Yeah,
same
I'll say
stamina
both.
and
I
durability.
mean,
but look at how
but
many people-
are they hitting
but look
like
at how many strong fighters
old
in
boy in
Bofarine.
Yellow Jacket? Because the old
And
boy in
then old
Yellow
boy
Jacket
that,
was hitting.
what's his name that was crying?
Kind of hard. I ain't gonna cap.
D, what's his name that was crying? And they said, "Oh no,
He's
he's showing emoji."
Once
He
angry
freak out.
cries, it's a pretty. That's a whole nother story. That's a demon in itself.
I get you, but you have the eye patch kid
Right.
from Windbreaker, who's a
Which
medicine
we
in of
still
himself. 'cause
don't
he
know
he
his full
basically can't be
abilities.
touched.
Oh, I mean, it's just
what
kung
we've
fu,
seen
but
of him. He can't
or-
be touched.
more so Tai Chi.
Well, it's a mix,
Yeah.
but thus far can't be touched. He's basically Ultra Instinct incarnate.
I got you.
Then you have the wannabe protege of the head guy, who's basically a bull. He's just like, I'm basically the Juggernaut.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. The long haired guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the long-haired kid. Okay, then you have the actual guy, the main character,
Mm-hmm.
who just have this innate fighting ability
And gets better
with
every
also
time.
plot, but he also has plot armor like that son of a bitch, because there was no way he should have beat that guy from that other school. That other guy from the other school should have watched him. I just want to say that for the record. But I will say he is a good fighter. He's a good fighter, but he did not have better fighting ability than the guy he was fighting. The guy he was fighting just had weak will. His will was stronger than the guy he was fighting.
I wouldn't say weak will. I see
think-
what you said, but I wouldn't say weak will. I think it was he had too much shit on his brain at
lost
that
his
time.
will.
Yeah.
He had lost his will. That's what
I think the older guy had better, or let me see, another situation of more refined technique. I think the older guy had more refined technique, but the main character also just, not only was he super athletic,
He had the
but
determination to win.
he had varying styles. I'm talking about just fighting. He had various styles of fighting that he threw at that dude, and he was able to he was forcing the guy to be on his toes. So I'd say this: had the older guy kept up training and staying on top of being strong like he should have won. But because he didn't, he lost, and I don't think that's plot armor. But
I think the main character pulled the Luffy and Wano. He got up several times after he should have been down for the fucking count.
there was only one time I think he got up that he shouldn't have.
How do you feel
But
about
I feel
Tenji
you.
O Tenge?
Do what?
Tenji O Tenge.
What is that?
It's a similar anime about a martial arts high school,
it's-
basically.
Oh wait, no. I don't think
Oh, I've never seen that one.
It's an old one.
You have to
But
send it
it's
to
great.
me. I'll check it out.
Yeah, send it to me.
All right,
We got
we're
another
gonna
one.
move on. No, we're gonna move on to the anime recommendation.
Oh, yeah.
So, the anime recommendation for the week is I left my A-rank party to help my former students reach the dungeon depths. So,
That's a new one.
2 of our panel members have discussed it. So it's a relatively new anime. It's come out this year. It's only got one season so far. I think me and Klepto had discussed it. It's got like up to 18 episodes.
Right.
Some of the main characters that you see within the show is Yuke. Yuke is the main character. He's a red mage, and he was in a party of A-rank adventurers, and they were just kind of taking him for granted, not really treating him with respect, treating him as a chore boy, a lackey, and he'd been carrying the weight of this team. But that really doesn't become evident until within the first episode, he decides to leave. He goes to another team, and then a string of bad luck begins following the team that he was with, and you see them fall from fame. The series in and of itself, to me, thus far, has been really the story of friendship. And even though I know Floss Boss will not like me saying this because he's a fan of this other particular anime.
Oh no.
In my opinion, this anime is the power of friendship done right. It shows that when you're underappreciated and not being treated right, you know, it's okay to go to people who will appreciate you and treat you right and do right by you. And not only that, but genuinely seek to reciprocate that level of friendship that you show. And I think that for me personally, again, this is just for me personally, the friendship thing between the group works better than I saw in Fairy Tail.
I just want to know, where did that happen in Fairy Tail, where they stayed with friends that was bad to them? Nigga ran the fade with Laxus for the whole guild when he knew Laxus would whoop his ass. He did not care because those was his friends. And you don't do that to his friend.
I get that. But the thing I didn't like about Fairy Tail was it was like my power is based on friendship. And I couldn't.
His power is based on a dragon that was sleeping inside him.
Yes, sir. I recognize that, but in my opinion, there were often times within Fairy Tail where Natsu was fueled by the power of friendship, but it was written in such a way that it was like, in the same way that Naruto was like, bro, we're the same. It felt like that. It felt like a cop-out to me within Fairy Tail. You may not agree. That's just my personal interpretation, and I may need to give it another watch and another read because maybe I just don't have the proper appreciation.
I'm not watching.
That's what I'm saying. Klepto, I got you. Look, Klepto, I got you. You even gotta say all that. That's spot on. That's not, I like Fairy Tail too. Nope, that's spot on, bro. Admit it, fam. That's spot on.
Fairy Tail fans, don't come to me in the comments, please. I'm not trying to
say
I'm just saying that's my personal interpretation.
It's kind of like I'm so eager for me too. It's been too long. Like it's at this point, I feel like there's no point in trying to get
another anime.
I mean, that's good. You know, good for them. I probably won't watch that one either. But
it's the 100-year. It's a 100-year question.
I'm definitely not watching that without having seen the original.
To me, I feel like it's the Fairy Tail equivalent of 1,000-Year Blood War, which I'm happy to see it get because I'm happy to see it continue.
Don't get me
I think it
started
has
on that
enough of
one
a following to warrant. Look, it had enough of a fan base to warrant a return. And if we're gonna give Naruto a return with Boruto, because everything
has
Blue
Boruto.
I get you.
Boruto.
Everything pre Blue Vortex is fucking garbage. Throw it in the trash can. It's fucking ass.
Let's say a good 85% of it.
They went to the fucking the Rock Village to find clones. But what is the point of Konohamaru? Konohamaru is weak as fuck. Boruto is pointless. Up until 2 Blue Vortex when they actually get to be useful.
Oh, no. I mean, granted, Konohamaru has always probably been weak as fuck. That's just what it is. And then we seeing it in real time and being like, he's supposed to be a Jonin. You ask him this Jonin, who's not Kakashi, and I feel like we have to make that caveat because everyone expects Jonins to be Kakashi. Jonins was goddamn cannon fodder the whole series. The whole series.
It wasn't even Ibisu.
Jonin? Nah, don't disrespect Konohamaru like that. Calm down. Stop. Konohamaru Rasengan a pain and put it out of commission. Do not disrespect Konohamaru like that. Stop it right now.
I will disrespect Konohamaru because of all the filler episodes I was forced to fucking watch.
Ibisu is utter, not even, bro, you about to make me spaz out. Don't ever. Ibisu is the worst of the worst when it comes to Jonin. Stop. Man's not even a real Jonin. I had to look that up online. Ibisu is not even a real Jonin. He's not even a real Jonin. He's a specific class between Chunin and Jonin that's dedicated. He's better at teaching than being an actual ninja. He's not a Jonin. He's not a real Jonin. I had to look that up because he's so trash. Bro was talking all that trash to Naruto and he garbage. You don't even have your real rank, bro. Go sit down somewhere.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we about to get into the anime question of the week.
All right. So, with the anime question of the week, what anime death lives rent-free in your head?
I'm staying on the Naruto. It's Jiraiya, bro. I never not think about Jiraiya dying.
I'm not gonna lie, it hurt my heart when they brought in Boruto when they brought in Ashin Koji.
Yeah.
And not because I was like, oh, over here like Jiraiya back?
Yeah.
And then you get a death flag for bro in the series and you don't get an answer for it until way later. And I'm like, damn, Kishimoto, did you just kill Jiraiya on me twice? Like a second time? Crazy work. But
So,
definitely Jiraiya for me too.
I think for me, one of the deaths that lives rent-free in my head is a death I view as pointless. And it's from Dragon Ball Z.
Whose death is pointless?
Goku.
Which
at
one?
At the end of the Cell Saga, when he basically says, hey y'all, I know I could be of use and actually like be a valuable member of my family and contribute to society, but fuck all that. I'm gonna stay dead. Peace. Now I get why that had to happen for the story, so that Vegeta could become frustrated with not being able to have his final fight with Goku. Listen. Goku was just being what people believe him to be, a horrible dad, which I don't think he actually is. I don't think he actually is. Listen, a terrible dad wouldn't sacrifice his own life because his son didn't have the stones to kill a bug.
Let me say, he was.
I don't live for Gohan slander. Gohan didn't have the stones. Gohan was freaking out.
He didn't.
Are you? If Gohan had the stones, immediately he would have said, "Cool, this is a world-ending threat. Time to not fuck around. Time to not be my dumbass dad and enjoy a fight. Time to show that I am that motherfucker because I am."
You do realize you're talking about a 12. Was he 12? 12?
Yes, he was 12 years old, and he was pissed off. So yeah, he gonna rip the wings off the butterfly.
Hold on. Are we really gonna sit here and pretend like that's not the son of the same man who was taking on King Piccolo at 12? Are we really gonna have that conversation right now? Like the president is already
different upbringing.
The president, no, it's not a different upbringing.
That is different
he faced
upbringing.
Raditz when he was 5.
That is different upbringing.
He faced Raditz at 5. Get fucked.
He did, but Gohan also grew up a whole lot softer than Goku did.
Yes,
That's
I agree with
fact.
that.
That's just
I
fact.
agree with that because he grew up in a house and Goku did not. However, you cannot use that same excuse when you spend 8 months in a training area with a man by yourself and nobody else.
But
like, we're talking about the greatest. Hold on. We're talking about the greatest warrior in Universe 7, and you're gonna really tell me that doesn't rub off on you? That's a lie. That's just not how human interaction works. I'm sorry. There's no way that he didn't understand going into that fight. Cool. I need to break it off in this bug's asshole. And he had the time to do it because even hold on. Let me just pick this last piece. At grade 4 Super Saiyan, Gohan was more powerful than Perfect Cell before he came back.
Mm-hmm.
So when they had finished him off the first time and he had blown up, he got instant transmission, Gohan was more powerful than him up until that point. But because he was peeling the wings off the butterfly and taking his time, like his dumbass daddy, what happened?
But wait, hold on, wait. So with that being said, and you said how human interaction works, he did exactly what the fuck his dad does.
Yeah, he played with his food. Yeah, I guess you're right. Damn, I was defeated by my own argument. That's shameful.
I won one.
Yeah.
Yes.
You did.
Yes.
Good job, loving man. You got it. That's the first statement to make.
Oh,
because he played with his food.
He did.
He had it.
Definitely did. Because you are absolutely right. He could have ended it, bro. He definitely did.
Oh my god.
But the way that Bridge worded it, take a few steps back. You in the splash zone.
No, he said, put on your poncho. You're in the splash zone.
Oh my gosh.
So,
man.
deaths that live rent free in my head. Ren Goku.
Oh, Mr. Donut himself.
Well,
Nah,
you gotta stop
he
that.
can't be doing that.
One death.
Matter of fact, I'm going to work tomorrow. I'm going to go get me some donuts tomorrow morning. Thank you, D, for reminding me.
Wow.
I hate you both. Anyway.
Wow.
I felt like it's pointless. It kind of lives in my head rent free now because I just got through watching it. I just finished season 2 of Tokyo Revengers. So, Mikey's sister dies for no reason, and he could have prevented that.
Could have prevented it. It's crazy.
He could have prevented it, but
I don't know.
Man, look, I'm gonna just break it down. Well, go ahead.
I was just going to say, did I show you guys that I have a rendering of Ren Goku in my RV?
I'm about to shut off this man's camera.
Oh God, I'm not even finna play with you, bro.
Dang, look like Ace.
All right, so that's the end of the pod. It's been a good session. This man is beyond disrespectful. So before I say something, that's gonna get us. Before I say something, that's gonna get this video taken down.
My last one.
I love y'all.
My last one. This was not anime related, but it still hurts my heart to this day. Cade 6 from Destiny.
Oh man.
Yes. 100%.
Did you play the DLC?
What, his DLC?
The one where he came, this most recent one?
No, I haven't played in like a year.
Oh man. I ain't gonna say nothing. You need to play that.
Look, hey, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. That second one?
Stop. Don't be wrong, I was more prepared the second time, but
Yes.
I was going through it.
Oh yeah.
Losing K really had me messed up.
Here. My boy said it's my light. I'm gonna use it the way I want to. I would.
With that being said, let us know what death lives rent free in your head. This has been another episode of Yo Bros Anime Pod. Thank you for being with us today.
Hey.
Bro, yo.